Good morning. Come on in as we're starting to get live here and getting all of our people in this morning. Super excited. I've had a very crazy and great week, actually. Hi, welcome in. It has been a crazy week. It's been all good, though. I can't believe it's Thursday. I didn't get to jump on yesterday. I've been trying to go live on Wednesdays. But today, we want to talk about why you're wired, tired, and waking up at 3 a.m. We're going to talk a lot about sleep today, why it's huge, and we'll talk all about that. But again, my name is Lisa Lansing. If y'all have never met me, put a one in the comments if you haven't met me. If you're watching the replay, make sure you put replay in there. I'd love to give you a shout out. This is a place where we talk all things personalized wellness, anti-aging, and each week we're talking about different topics and how it affects our overall wellness. Now, if I don't see your comments, I'll definitely get to them later. But if you have questions, pop them in the chat and we can go from there. But I really want to talk about, like yesterday, the reason I didn't get on live yesterday is because we had a health event yesterday morning, and it was so great though. I love talking to people who really want to optimize their health and figure out the best way to do that, because guess what? We women, and we are all, especially over 40, are struggling with so many things. And we're having to learn about our bodies, exactly what happens and how to balance our bodies, which if you haven't watched in the last couple weeks, try to go back to those videos and check them out. They're only up for 30 days, but I can always get you information. We talked about balancing your body and how important it is. Yes, welcome on in. If you want to come on in, let me know that you can see and hear me. And also, again, my name is Lisa Lansing. Put a one in the comments if you haven't seen me before. I'd love to give you a special shout out. But we want to talk about the sleep issues today. And let's talk about the balance, first of all, balancing the body. And the number one that we talked about was doing a proper cleanse and detox. And you think, well, Lisa, what does that have to do with balancing your body? Well, your body has to be able to get all the good nutrients in and get all the bad stuff out. So doing a proper 30-day detox and cleanse actually gets all the junk out of the way. It handles all the filtration systems, but not all at once, which is what you want. And it can rebuild your microbiome at the end, which it should. That's what the one that I actually use actually does that. But what I want to say about it is you want to get the junk out of the way so your body can start resetting its stuff and starting at the good end. And so that's why the proper cleanse and detox is the start. Now, what we want to talk about today, and I do have my notes with me because we do not want to miss. There's so many things about sleep that's part of balancing your body. For years, I struggled so much with sleep. And it wasn't, people go, well, it's just menopause. Well, it's not just menopause. Yes, I struggle with sleep during menopause, but I actually have women I know, personal friends, that are not struggling with sleep at all. They've got a lot of other symptoms, but not sleep is not the problem. But you wake up and your face is puffy and you feel tired, even though maybe you've got 8 hours of sleep. You kind of feel just yuck for the day. You just don't feel like you can ever catch up on your sleep, which you really can't. Your body doesn't work that way. But then your brain, right? I don't know about you, but when I don't get enough sleep, I am very, golly, my brain doesn't function well. I can't really get into the rhythm, especially if I have a work day that I really need to dive into something. It's hard. If I haven't had enough sleep, I can't actually get going. And it's like my brain just says, like, wait, we need more sleep. And sometimes I literally, if I don't sleep well, the gym is a real struggle. Now, I'll still go, but I definitely don't get the best effect as I would as if I got my proper sleep. Now, for me, and I'm curious about this for you all, I'm curious to see how many of y'all struggle with falling asleep. Put that in the comments. If you have struggle of staying asleep, put that in the comments. Or if you don't have any sleep problems at all, that is amazing. Put that in the comments. I'd love to know. For me, I struggle to stay asleep. I can fall asleep no problem. But for me, my brain is going 100 miles an hour. It's like I wake up and it's like, oh, I start thinking of my to-do list for tomorrow, which is craziness, which you shouldn't do, but it happens. So I've done all kinds of things to make sure that I get the proper amount of sleep, because I've realized how it affects body fat. It increases our cortisol. It does so many things to our body that we don't realize. And it's just not a good thing not to get enough sleep. But the patterns matter, right? Like your body is repairing itself during sleep. So, like, if I've worked out and everything and I just need all my muscles to be repaired, my brain just needs to rest. It's like a reset for the brain. It's just a reset for the body when you're sleeping enough, right? So, if you're new to me, I'm Lisa. Hi, welcome on in. And if you have never seen me before, put a one in the comments. I'd love to give you a special shout out. I do want to talk about some things and what can happen and why you might be having struggle with sleep. Besides menopause, all those type of things, which are, it's kind of one of the normal things after 40. Unfortunately, that's what happens. But it may not just be that. You could be having a liver issue. Your liver detoxifies the most between 2 and 4 a.m. Period. So if you're waking up constantly, you don't know that you're like, I'm just not getting that sleep. Why is that? That could be why, is that you might need to do a liver cleanse. You need to get that junk out of the way so it isn't constantly waking up, because it's in fight or flight mode at that point, right? So other reasons could be that, for me, this is something that's really, it just really kind of struck me crazy, is that I didn't realize that I was snoring. I had no idea that I was snoring. My son said to me, Mom, you are really snoring loud. And because I was waking up tired and couldn't figure out why. And I thought, okay, so I'm snoring. Why is that? Well, come to find out, long story short, is the fact that I actually had to do a sleep test and found out that I actually have sleep apnea. It's not just for people that maybe are overweight. It actually, if you have an anatomy issue, that is another reason. For me, I had an accident when I was a child. I literally fell out of the back of a three-wheel bike and I literally rolled down the road. And so I absolutely pushed my neck forward. And of course, back then, my mom didn't know about chiropractors, so I didn't get it adjusted. So from that point on, it started narrowing my throat. And also, I work on a computer, which a lot of us do all day long. And what happens? You get forward head motion. So I'm constantly pushing my head back, because what happens is your throat, it actually all encloses and narrows your throat, because your vertebrae, you get that military straight neck is what happens. You can get sleep apnea from that. And people don't realize all these things can happen. Now, I have recently gone to a different chiropractor who is helping me with my neck, and actually my snoring's got a lot less. And you're like, well, how do you know that? Well, for me, I have something on my phone actually that's called, it's a snore app, and it's called Snore Lab. And it is amazing. I actually can tell how it tells me how loud I'm snoring, if at all, and for how long. Like, it could be, and I was up to, like, oh my gosh, I want to say 50%. I was snoring a lot, and it was epic snoring, like loud, loud, loud. And so that's affecting my sleep. So it's affecting my sleep. So I'm not making the best decisions about food because I'm tired. And then I can't work out like I should because my body is tired and hasn't recovered. You get the point. It's just all over the place. But then, what I've done, there's so many things we can do, right? But not only your sleep apnea, that's one thing, right? But again, I told you about the liver. That could be another reason that you're not sleeping well. But another thing that I really didn't know, and did a lot of research on this, was that I know a lot of people say, well, I take melatonin at bed. And I'm like, yeah, I did too. Until I realized and found out, and we did some research, and with my doctor's help, it was like, you're getting too much melatonin. And I went, what? You can get too much melatonin? Why? What does that mean? Well, most of the stuff that you buy in the store over the counter has 3, 5, or 10 milligrams of melatonin. This actually, you get a habit of taking this all the time, it can disrupt your sleep because it's too much. It's more than your body actually makes. So that's a problem. So you don't want that to happen. So you have to actually wean yourself off of it because it's way too much. And so now I take a little sleep strip that has 1.5 milligrams of melatonin. It's got L-theanine and some other herbs that actually help me to stay asleep. Now, I don't take it every night because now my body, I'm starting to get regulated. I know exactly what I need for my body for sleeping. I mean, you might need a dark room. I like it to be lighter just because I like to wake up with the natural light so that it's not always, I can wake up before my alarm. I set an alarm, but I usually get up at the same time every day, right? But sleeping, let's talk about actually that I brought that up. Oh, hi there. Nice. Thank you for coming in. Nice to see you. Um, but what I want to say is that if you get onto that part where you wake up, right? Um, and you want to get better sleep, it's your bedtime routine. This is a big thing. Okay, it took me a long time to really grasp this, and I finally, I mean, it's so simple. I just didn't get it. It just wasn't like, okay. And I know this can't always happen in life, but you need to reverse engineer your sleep patterns. Like, for example, if you know that you have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which I do because I go to the gym, so I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, what's my 8 hours before that to get the proper sleep, right? Because our bodies need 7 to 8 hours sleep, especially we women over 40. We need our sleep, so our body's repairing. We can lose our body fat, all those things. So now I go to bed like 10 or 10:30 has been my goal. And sometimes I've realized that if I start falling asleep on the couch about 9:30, 9:45, that's my body saying, hey, it's time to go to bed. So I do that now and regulate it and get up at the same time every night. You train your body to do this. And now it's so much easier. Like this morning, I woke up at 5 minutes to 6. I was like, huh, this is great. But actually, your sleep is super, super important because if you're trying to lose body fat, you're trying to get rid of the puffiness out of your face. But other things that I do, this is really cool. I love doing this. You want to track your sleep. Okay, I'm really all into that stuff. I love that kind of stuff. Tracking my sleep. Now, I did try. I have an Apple Watch, and I tried tracking my sleep with my Apple Watch, but I don't like to wear it tight at all. I like it to be kind of loose, so it wasn't very accurate. I didn't realize that though. I thought, oh my gosh, like I am sleeping horrible. No wonder I can't lose body fat, and my body just wasn't balancing at all. Well, that was one of the big reasons. I wasn't sleeping well. And so also, so then what I decided to do was I said, you know what? I'm going to get a tracker. I'm going to get a sleep ring, and I'm actually going to track my sleep to see because it's so important. And I will tell you this ring has been the greatest thing. I realized I was getting better sleep than I thought. And as I started moving on, and I was getting better and better sleep. Now, the ring that I have, I actually have an app that's free subscription. I don't have to have anything that I don't have to pay for a subscription, but it monitors my heart, monitors my REM sleep, my deep sleep, all the things which I love, and it comes all kinds of different colors, which is kind of fun. But you can wear it on, and the first two fingers, the first three fingers is what they tell you on either hand. And so I monitor mine to make sure that I'm getting enough REM and deep sleep, so my body is recovering. Now I will tell you this: what's really cool is that I thought I was only getting like an hour and a half of really deep sleep, right? That's what I thought. And I thought, well, no wonder I'm so tired, right? But now that I have balanced my body, I did my detox, I make sure about my liver, right? I make sure my liver's detoxified. So I have a liver supplement sometimes that I'll take if I realize that I'm getting puffy because I retain a lot of fat and inflammation in my body. It's just my body. This is my body. And it's personalized, so I actually know this. But once I started tracking it with the ring, I found out that I was getting like right now, I am between REM and deep sleep. I am like 4 hours, and that is amazing. And it definitely has changed my body because I've been able to lose body fat easier, been able to work out better. So I'm getting more toned muscle, which is obviously what I want. So there's so many things that you can do to get proper sleep, but you have to be really careful, right? That you are not taking too much melatonin, taking all the sleep aids that are over the counter that can disrupt your body. And once you get on those, if you're on them, we've all done it, guys. I've done it too. I've gone the over counter things. I'm like, I just want to sleep. I want to wake up feeling refreshed and not just tired, right? So what I would say to that is if you are taking it, that's you've got to work on weaning yourself off, which is what I had to do. I weaned myself off the melatonin I was taking valerian root. There were all these things I was trying so I could get enough sleep. But now I actually have just a few little things that I take at bedtime, like, or in routines, right? Like going to bed at the same time every night. If I've had a really wound up day, I'll take one of my sleep strips, right? That has just that little bit of melatonin, which is like 1.5 with L-theanine. I also take a calming drink. It's like a chai tea that's super helpful because it kind of just levels out my body and it just makes me go, okay, it's time to go to bed. It's time to go to sleep, which is what we truly want. So, guys, if you want anything that I've talked about today, if you have questions about sleep, because if you have sleep apnea, you need to talk with your doctor, first of all. Get you a sleep study done. You might need a CPAP machine. You might need a mouth guard. I have a mouth guard that if I know that I'm not getting enough sleep, I'll wear that every once in a while to help that. But since I've gotten adjusted and getting my neck under control and all those type things, now that I know and I'm constantly pushing back on my neck, right, to not have a forward neck, I'm hoping to reverse it. It's going to take a bit, but it's helping. It's definitely helping. So I'm not snoring as much. The only way I know that is because I'm tracking it with my Snore Lab app. So if you want to know anything about any of this information, if you want to know about the sleep strips I take, put sleep in the comments. If you want to know more about the ring that I use, drop ring in the comments. I'll get that to you. There's so much information out there, guys, and it's just so important. I cannot say it enough because I didn't realize how important it was. I really didn't until I tracked it, figured it all out. I talked with my doctor. We said we didn't need the CPAP machine. We could try these other things first, and they have worked for me. So, but again, that kind of stuff is with your doctor, not myself. But I just love, love, love all this because you know what? Once your sleep is really dialed in, my energy levels have been better. I think much clearer, and I'm able to just do so many more things. So I appreciate y'all coming on here. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll come back, answer those for you, and anything that you'd like to know about, I can send you the links to those just so you can get things for yourself so that you can balance your body so that you can have the optimal health you want to. Thanks, y'all. Have a fantastic day.